Welcome back to Whitaker Writings. I'm Jason Cormier, and today is about researching for your story. If you're a writer, you've heard the phrase, write what you know. But do you know what that actually means? It's one of the most important pieces of advice you can receive as a writer, but there's a lot of misunderstanding about what this phrase actually means. Many people mistake it to mean that you can only write what you already know, and that's simply not the case. In the world we live in, we have access to information at our fingertips every second of the day. Because of this, there's simply no excuse for misinformation in your story. Unless, of course, the misinformation was intentional. And then in that case, you need to make sure that your reader is well aware of that. Having inaccurate information pulls your reader out of your story. Now, no, not every reader is going to know exactly how to change a tire on a car. But if you're going to write about changing a tire in your story, you need to make sure that you understand how it works. Well, I write fantasy, so not everything in my story is going to be just like real life, buddy. That's a valid point, but a lazy argument. Just because you're writing fantasy doesn't mean your story doesn't have to make sense. There must be rules for how things work. And if something breaks those rules, it needs to be an obvious paradox, or it needs to be explained to the reader why it breaks those rules. Take Doctor Who, for instance. Within the dimensions of a small police box, about the size of a really big phone booth, you have a spaceship that is infinitely large. It has as many rooms as needed to complete whatever task the ship requires. However, it is fully known in every episode to nearly every character that appears on the show that that is not normal. And there are entire episodes dedicated to trying to discover how exactly that works. Most of the time that misinformation is in a story, it's not intentional. It's because of laziness. And that's on us, the writers. So here are 3 methods that you can guarantee you'll write what you know. Number 1, use personal experience. This is how most people understand write what you know. Using personal experience is a great way to get it right without having to do a lot of research. Method number 2, ask an expert. If you're not quite sure about a topic yourself, but you know somebody who is, then talk to them. Pick their brain. Let them read what you've written and critique it. Let you know what works and what doesn't work. That's the best way to make sure the information in your story is going to be accurate, even when you yourself aren't familiar with the topic. Method number 3, and this is my personal favorite, educate yourself. Modern technology is amazing. Everything you need to know about anything is at your fingertips. So not writing something correctly when you could have simply just looked it up in 5 minutes is just lazy writing. The film industry pays millions of dollars to have experts come in and train actors how to do a specific scene. And this is important to make sure that the actors are portraying the information as realistic as possible. If a police officer doesn't act, move, or speak like a police officer in real life does, it pulls the reader out of the movie. Your stories are no different. If your reader knows the information they are reading is wrong, then it's going to pull them out of your world. And if they're not submerged in your world, they're not going to enjoy the fantasy that you've provided for them. Your goal as a writer should be to keep your reader as submerged in your world as you can. And anything that pulls them out of that could be detrimental to your book. If you want your story to be at its best, take the time to educate yourself so you can always write what you know. And remember, that doesn't mean that you have to write what you currently know. You can always learn more information. It just takes you pulling out your phone, getting on your computer, asking a friend or an expert, and making sure the information you provide to your readers is accurate. Now, that's the main thing that I wanted to discuss with you today. For some of you, this may have been a kick in the butt. And for that, I'm not sorry, because sometimes we as writers need a stern kick in the butt to move us in the right direction. Now, today I'm trying something a little bit different with the video. I'm going to move it along at a faster pace. So this video is going to be much shorter than my previous ones. I personally like talking directly without a script or rehearsing. I just like to talk about a subject with everything I know and edit out any mistakes or pauses that I have. But I have gotten a couple requests to give the information more directly. That's what I'm trying today. Let me know in the comments below if you like this more direct method with faster information in shorter videos, or if you prefer the conversational approach where I just talk to you without a rehearsed script. You can see that method in most of my other videos. They exceed 15 minutes. Now, if you like the content from me and you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. I post videos every Monday. So until next week, drink lots of coffee, write lots of words. Ow, this coffee got so hot.
Well, it was boiling.
Yeah, but I'm saying the cup itself.
It's probably porcelain.
Yeah. Ow.